What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media, and we are live here for another episode of the AEW Dynamite Post Show.
Yes, we are, sir.
Appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. My name is Chase, like I said, and this is my co-host, Scotty Raz Dark Wolf. Scott, how are you doing this week?
I am doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself.
That's good.
So wanna go ahead and get on there. Make sure everything is good to go here. Steven Chambers it says, "What's up, Chase? Appreciate you joining, Steven." Gears of Kai says, "So I didn't play Pokemon today, and I was just getting ready to get excited and be like, oh, did you actually watch the show?" And then he said, no, it was Dragon Ball Z instead.
Yeah, throws us under the bus with fucking Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. And yes, there's the first F-bomb of the night.
There you go.
And hello, Steven. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah. And then Mick, and then ABJ says Discord is on the way. Nice. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining. Hey Chase, hey Raz. Chase, you aren't playing WWE 2K23. Yeah, let's get that changed on the Twitch. For whatever reason, it doesn't change my Twitch status, which is weird. But
and yes, Steven, you are right. Forbidden Door 2.
Correct. So we're gonna get into all of that.
One of the big news from the start of the show.
So. Absolutely.
We love your work, ABJ. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
We appreciate having you guys here and coming.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Coming over from ABJ's Discord. Don't do that. My gosh. There's a back button on my mouse I've actually done this before. I actually did that before where oh, look, Axel's in the house tonight. Appreciate Axel joining, Clinton, Mick, everybody. Guys, like I said, we break down the show of AEW Dynamite and kind of talk about it after we're done. If you're new here, something that we always do is we always share the link out to give you guys an opportunity to come on here, get on camera, and tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. So appreciate you guys joining with us. Stick with us.
But as per the rule, if you're gonna come on, make sure you got a camera.
Yep, of course, absolutely. So Forbidden Door 2 was announced. It's going to be in Canada.
Formally announced. Yep.
Yes. But it's
I don't know. I didn't know, Axel. What is on my shirt?
Yeah, that's cool. So announced tonight, Forbidden Door 2.
Up in Canada.
Canada this time. Yeah. Which is weird because it's not weird. It's just it's a little disappointing. I was really looking forward to it being in Chicago again. Because I was hoping to head a little east to Chicago for that event and hang out with Mark.
Now both of you might have to head a little bit further east.
No.
Yeah, because your boy is considering going to Toronto for that show.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, when you put it like that, no, maybe
because the guys I was staying with in Toronto when I was last there, they live right next door to the Scotiabank Arena, so
absolutely
it's perfect.
Clinton asked what the YouTube link is for the show. Give me 1 second here.
We might have to drag ABJ up to the Great White North as well.
We might have to. So
yeah. Hello, Mick, by the way. Sorry. I did see your comment there, but I just didn't get a chance to acknowledge it. Sorry about that.
Who are you talking about?
Mick.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Clinton got the YouTube. I was sorry, I was stalling because I was trying to get the YouTube link for Clinton, but
Fair enough.
uh but yeah, man, Forbidden Door 2 is announced. So I assume the same setup for last time.
I'm guessing so.
New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW again. Or do you think
from what I
you
can
think there's a
see,
possibility we get Impact?
I wouldn't be surprised if we do get Impact. Like the fact that we've got some stars already from Impact who are semi-working AEW, like Juice Robinson was in Impact for a while as part of New Japan, but he was still in Impact, and now he's over at AEW working. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get Impact coming in. Probably
especially with Impact, intermingling with, in New Japan itself. I wouldn't be surprised. Would love to see a Bullet Club.
For sure.
Chris Bay and all those guys show up and we're probably, Steven Chambers is right. We're probably going to get Omega versus Ospreay.
That's my key reason for going. That's my key reason for going to Toronto.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to upset anybody, but I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do Ospreay and Omega. If they saved that for another big New Japan event, and we got the Elite versus Ospreay and Aussie Open.
So United Empire sort of thing.
United Empire, yep.
I can. That would be good, but not as good as just Ospreay and Omega. So.
Oh, absolutely.
We all know my feelings on that one. So.
Yeah. But started off the show with
and yes, Clinton, I would definitely want to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Danielson.
Yeah.
That is another one that would have to be on that show.
Hey, can we address that real quick?
Sure.
If social media is a really funny place. And there's a lot of people on there talking about like how Danielson, Mr. Phil Cure.
Yeah. One of our boys from ABJ's Twitch.
Yep. Appreciate you joining. So long story short, I forgot where I was going with that.
A lot of people are.
A lot of people were complaining because Bryan Danielson, went
home.
Went home and, and all that other stuff. It's always weird to me when wrestling fans who have watched wrestling for years, still get worked about stuff. Like, I know it's fun to kind of, still pretend like the facade is for real, but it is, it's always funny when it's like, oh man, he got hurt in AEW. That would have never happened in WWE. And it's
which we know is a crock of shit.
Yeah,
we know that.
Like, guys, let's calm down here. So
the dude had a almost career-threatening injury in WWE.
Yeah, it was career ending for a few years. So
to say that he that wouldn't have happened in WWE is a crock of shit, and like he was no doubt. This is all part of what they want to do with the story, and I think it's brilliantly done. It's giving us a chance to have Bryan relax for a bit and spend some time with his kids and give him that time away that he needs to heal properly.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, wouldn't it be crazy if we, we're what, 10 minutes into this thing and haven't even started the show, but wouldn't it be crazy if we got AEW, ROH, New Japan Pro, and Impact on a Forbidden Door show?
That would be
what if they did a 2-day event for Forbidden Door like they do with WrestleMania to
Ooh.
give them enough time to build? God, two 6-hour shows. Fuck, I don't hate it.
Ouch. Like, I mean, it would be fantastic,
Yeah,
but at the
I wouldn't
same
hate.
time, like,
I know there's going to be other wrestling fans who are like, that's just too long, and that's fine, whatever.
my
But
bank account would hurt by the end of it, and
yeah, heard that.
I'd be like, holy shit, I'm broke.
Yeah, heard that. Mick Thomason says they could do Stardom as well, which is a very, very big possibility, which would be very interesting. So
It would be interesting if they did bring in Stardom as well. Like,
yep.
He's got a good point there, because the women's division is starting to pick up a little bit in AEW finally.
Yeah.
So having Stardom come across could help that.
So I guess let's talk about Dynamite. We started off with we started off with a rebar mitzvah celebration for the AEW champion MJF, and then was short-lived. He was interrupted by 3 individuals.
The 3 pillars.
The 4 pillars. So all in the ring.
The other 3 pillars, yeah.
Yeah, the other 3 pillars. But all in the ring. And I know some people are going to complain, but I'm here for it, man. Give me a fatal 4-way with these 4 guys. I think it'd be a great match.
While it was a 20-minute opening segment that you can see on the other channel, it was well done for what it was. And for the fact that you've got the 4 pillars of the company in the ring at the same time. And hey, look, I know that you're not a fan of him. I'm not a massive fan of him, but even Darby tonight stepped it up a bit. Like, he stepped it up a little bit in regards to that promo. Like, the whole thing worked really well, having all 4 of them together. The guys who were there right from day one and have built the foundation of what the company was based on, and have all gone their own ways.
Yeah.
To come together and want to go over that for that title.
Yeah, and it's great because it would be good to see how Darby fares against other people closer to his size.
Yeah.
What we've seen for the past year is him face
big guy after big guy after big guy.
Yeah. Guys, Samoa Joe's not that much bigger, but I mean, Samoa Joe's still a big threat to somebody of Darby's stature. Yeah, of Darby's stature. Brody King, Miro, Malachi, like, and so it would be different to see him get in the ring with, a Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Like, so
I mean, we know he's had his feuds with Sammy over the TNT title, but they can still run it back. Like, those matches were good. You got to admit.
Yep. This adds a different dynamic to it. Is what I was going to get at. So I don't know, man. I'm excited for it.
I was hyped. I was like, holy crap, we're getting Jungle Boy as the first challenger. And then Sammy comes out. And hi, Anthony Graves. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely, Graves.
Yeah, and then we get Sammy coming out. And then probably one of the biggest pops of the night, Darby's return. Like,
yeah,
I'm not surprised that he got a pop. But, yeah.
I'm not surprised he got a pop either, but it is very like I said, it's good to see that we're doing different things than just Darby versus big guy or Darby versus
guy who can destroy the shit out of him, and then he comes back with a roll-up pin or
yeah. And as long as we admit right now that there's no chance that Darby wins that title.
Let's hope that's the case. I mean, there is a potential of them putting it on him, but let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. John Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler take on Hangman, Evil
You know,
Uno,
Mark
and
is
Stu Grayson.
you know that Mark is going to be pissed off at you for just skipping over the fact that Jericho got given a street
I don't care.
in his hometown.
I don't care. Yeah, I obviously I skipped over it because it's not in my notes, which means it wasn't important enough for me to talk about.
Sorry, I had to. I just had to because you know Mark's gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, BCC versus Dark Order. What can we say about this match that hasn't already been said by us?
You know, I don't know. I kind of am at a point where it's like, yo, like I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
Like, are we ready to move past the Dark Order, Hangman Page, and the Blackpool Combat Club? And it doesn't look like we are.
No.
It looks like we're gonna get more of it. Especially heading into the ending of this show. But I'm ready for something different.
Yeah.
I'm not
don't get me
interested.
wrong. I was happy to see Stu Grayson showing up and putting on a good show, and it wasn't just a BCC destroys Dark Order match. Like it was, there was still elements of quality to the match. It wasn't just gonna squash them and leave them in the dust, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, I think this is all leading to a blood and guts match between BCC and Dark Order. But the ending of the show may have changed that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
We get to the Jade Cargill TBS title match. Where the
best in Canada,
best in Canada, Nicole Matthews.
Now I'm all for independent. It's getting a shot. I'm all for someone new getting a shot. But is Nicole Matthews really someone who is the best in Canada?
Well, we knew what it was setting up to, which was we wound up going back and saying, hey, I think one of us, you or myself, guessed Taya last week. So, very, very cool to see Taya show up in AEW. Would love to see more of her. Would love to see more of her husband in AEW.
The reaction wasn't there for her, though.
Yeah, I don't think the reaction was there because it was predictable.
But you'd think, being a hometown show, like a Canadian show, I know it's probably not her hometown, but
yeah,
it's still a home country show. You'd think she would have got a decent reaction.
Yeah, I think I think the reality is that people wanted, or not people wanted, but people wanted to be surprised, and it wasn't a surprise. There was one big elephant in the room when they said Canada's best.
Yeah, she's working with the other company.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, obviously Gail Kim could have been a choice, but Gail Kim is well retired, well past that area. So the only other option they had was Taya Valkyrie, and I think it was just really predictable to the crowd.
It's not a knock on Taya saying that she's not the best that Canada has to offer. It's just pure fact that
like I said, it's not a knock.
For the women's division, unfortunately, the best that Canada has to offer is currently working with the other company.
Yeah, but she's also retired as well.
Yeah, but she has a name that is well known throughout the world, and obviously Taya is working hard trying to be a strong woman on the scene and in the industry, but it ain't gonna happen. Well, it will happen, but she won't have such a big name working at places as like Impact, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, just because they say Canada's best, Mexico's best, whatever, doesn't mean it has to be somebody from WWE. But Trish Stratus is the name that you think of right there, and
automatically.
because none of those other, like I said, Gail Kim is well retired.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus is pretty much well retired, but she's also in WWE. So when you throw out Canada's best, I just think that the crowd was like, "Oh, we knew it was going to be Taya." So there was
Yeah.
some excitement there, but you weren't going to get a roof blowing off the top
Oh, no way.
reaction for Taya Valkyrie like you would have somebody else.
Also, can we just acknowledge the fact that the Bebe has turned up in the chat?
Yeah, Brian J. Bebe, baby.
The Brian J. Bebe has turned up.
So, like I said, Matthews is a 17-year vet. She's a great independent worker. But I also think that, and this is my personal opinion, I also think that that crowd is anxiously waiting for somebody, and it's not Taya Valkyrie.
No.
And
it's who I mentioned previously is currently working Japan.
Yep, exactly.
And yes, I have seen you on the hot tag, Mr. Bebe. I remember when it was a good show when you took over as host.
It was a decent show. It was all right. Wasn't that great.
But as Steven said, it's about damn time that they're doing something with that TBS title.
Yeah.
Been too long.
So the debut edition of QTV with QT Marshall. I thought it was funny.
It was essentially what what's that show?
Not Vice. What is it? The paparazzi thing.
Yeah, the what do they call it? TMZ.
Yep, TMZ. Exactly.
Yeah, TMZ.
So
it's literally TMZ with
yeah, and it was a TMZ copycat. Listen, I'm happy that they're doing something with QT Marshall. As long as he, I don't think QT Marshall is a main event type guy.
No,
I think this is a great role for him. He gets to play a douchebag. He gets to do stuff like that.
For me, he was always going to be a lower card, top tier lower card guy. He wouldn't fit the mid card, but a top tier lower card guy. Like he's the reliable hand, as they would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them do something with him. I'd rather them use him than not use him. Of course, there's a lot of other guys they could be using, but
that circles back to the whole Darby Allin thing where he said about the wrestlers being on Twitter and just complaining about the company.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought that dig tonight was actually brilliant by Darby.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it seems to be played out at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's crazy. Like, I get it. Like, your job is to wrestle and you want to wrestle, but, like,
yeah. You can't just go on Twitter, expect to complain, and then have your boss give you a match for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the way the industry works. I've never wrestled a match a day in my life. Well, I say that in regards to proper matches. Backyard wrestling, different story.
Story.
I've never wrestled a proper in-ring match a day in my life, but even I know for a fact that you don't put the work in, you don't get to go on the show. And
Yeah.
okay, there are some on the card that have earned their spot that they should be on the show because they've already put the work in as such. Like, but you can't, it's not like the old days. It's not like the old days where Hogan was on top and he could work 1 to 2 weeks every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, but I mean for certain situations, like let's talk about the gigantic elephant in the room as far as all that goes. Miro.
Yep. Sorry.
Like,
Yeah. Like
has Miro not done enough to get on the card?
I'm not saying he hasn't done enough. I'm saying that he has worked, obviously, and he's worked very well, but you still got to put the hard yards in. You still got to, especially when you're moving from one company to another. When you're moving from the number one company to the number two company, you should be trying to show them why you were at the number one company.
Yeah.
Like, you should be going, okay, I was here because I was that damn good. I was that damn good.
Well, I think in Rusev's defense, I think not, Miro's defense, for a situation like that, number one, this company has been billed as the alternative. So, you can call it the number two company, but I've never considered it 1 and 2. I've always considered it WWE and AEW because it's supposed to be an alternative, right?
Yeah.
And that was what drew Andrade, Miro, all those guys to AEW, was because it was supposed to be an alternative. Like, do you want to be a sports entertainer or do you want to be a professional wrestler? And that's what the draw was for AEW. So I don't know, man. I just I think that's interesting. I kind of don't know if I wouldn't quite say I disagree with you, but I don't know if I agree with you either. Just because I don't think, I think it's been AEW's creative decision to push guys like Darby forward and not use guys properly like Andrade, Miro. I think that's just their own fault. I don't think that has anything to do with, I think that has to do with a lack of creative direction. I don't think that has anything to do with what Miro or Andrade or, I mean, I was going to say Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, all those guys that have been lackluster used in the past 6, 7, 8 months to a year. And now we're starting to see Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow and all those guys get used a little bit more. But,
and we're seeing the quality that they can bring, and
absolutely
the proof that the company just needs to work with them and needs to give them what they that little bit of belief that they had right when AEW started, and it started with the unknown names.
Yeah. And bringing in free agent names is fine. But, I guess I would look at it this way. Now, I know Jon Moxley is a top guy in the company.
Yeah.
But how many times have we seen Jon Moxley used constantly? I mean, there's always a creative direction for Moxley. Moxley has never, ever lacked in as far as any direction in this company goes.
Yeah, but the problem we have there is the fact that they had the fallout of Brawl Out.
Even with Brawl Out, though. Even with Brawl Out,
but he was supposed to go away. He was supposed to disappear, and then they had to.
Okay, but if he disappeared, Scott, who was going to be the focus? It wasn't Miro. It wasn't Andrade. It was MJF and CM Punk were going to be the focus.
Yeah.
When he disappeared. So the only reason he hasn't disappeared or the only reason he didn't disappear was because, they needed him still. And then doesn't look like he's taking a vacation anytime soon.
No.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Miro goes home on injury. And then they tell Miro, like, hey, man, like, sorry, we just don't have anything for you creatively. And it's like, that's crazy because you have stuff constantly. Like, there's been points in the past year where you can point out that Mox was even being pulled creatively 2 different ways. One in the championship picture and then the other in the Blackpool Combat Club. So it's like, you don't have anything creative for Miro, but you've got all this creative room for John Moxley, and all these different people. Miro's a prime example because Miro is one of the top guys that you saw come from WWE, and you were like, and you saw how AEW used him, and you saw how AEW approached him, and you were like, okay, they're going to do something with him. And he goes out on injury, and now, like I said, I mean, from what we've heard, we don't know if that's true or not, but from what we've heard, there's nothing creative for him. And I'm just like, that's weird to me.
Look, can you bring up what Brian J has put in the chat?
Yeah.
Because one thing is of my points is 3.5 years.
Absolutely.
3.5 years. You go to a company like WWE, they've been around for 50, 60 years, if not longer, if you go by their telling of history. They've been around a hell of a lot longer. They've had a lot more time to build their stars, build the stories, build knowledge on how to create.
Yeah, they have professional writers in there, regardless of what you may think about them. Sometimes they suck. Guys that couldn't hack it in soap operas go and write for WWE, and that's fine. Like, that's cool. But I'm not, like I said, let's take WWE out of this, because like I said, this was never supposed to be a 1 and 2 thing. When AEW was introduced by Tony Khan, Cody Rhodes, and the Bucks and Kenny, it was introduced as an alternative, and
it was to change the narrative of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
What WWE shows as sports entertainment and as with athletics, to this is actually a real sport, and to have that sports style behind it. It was designed in a way to be New Japan, but with stories.
So sports entertainment.
Sorry?
So sports entertainment.
No, not sports entertainment. You smart ass. It was designed to be New Japan with stories.
So sports entertainment.
I'm not going to win, am I? I'm not going to win this, am I? You're going to be a bastard.
I hate the narrative of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Listen, you tell a story in the ring.
Oh, for sure.
That's entertainment.
Yeah.
And storytelling is entertainment. So no matter how you look at it, professional wrestling is sports entertainment. But I'm picking up what you're putting down. We're talking about the WWE style
of sports entertainment.
The WWE style of sports entertainment, which is completely different than what New Japan, Impact, and
I guess I'll change it to the WWE is more of a media entity than a sports entity.
Yep.
They may have sport on their show. They may have wrestling.
I'll tell you what. Let's take the WWE focuses more on the entertainment aspect of sports entertainment than it does the sports part of the sports entertainment. That's where I'll meet you in the middle. I think that that's where I'll lay my sword. WWE focuses more on entertainment of sports entertainment, and AEW focuses more on sports. Hence why, like I said, backing up, we talked about AEW was supposed to be the alternative to it. I don't know, man. Like I said, I obviously I do this show because I love AEW Dynamite. I love AEW. I've been a little sour on them a little bit in the past year. But rightfully so. They've presented a little bit of some head scratchers.
They haven't presented the best product in the world. There has
And
been
that's
shows.
where you can throw that card down and say, yeah, they're 3.5 years in. You
Yeah,
know, there's some growing pains here with this company.
yeah.
But you know what? The two things that this company has that Impact didn't have, or any other company that tried to become a,
Powerhouse. Yeah,
tried to at least stay on the same foundation as WWE, is they've got time and they've got money,
yeah.
which is
And
good.
and and this is like, because I was at the show that was over here the other weekend, and um, you had people on the card like Matt Cardona, Johnny Gimmick Name, or as he was known down here, Johnny Down Under. Um,
Johnny Nitro, John
um,
Morrison,
yep. You
fantastic.
had TJP. You had
Another
some
fantastic talent.
like you had some of the independents from Australia, and you had like Redbeard, and you had like fairly decent sized names, and the show was great. But I was talking to a guy that I met there, and I was saying this exactly about AEW. 3.5, 4 years ago, this company started from an idea, and look at where it is now. Like,
Yeah.
they're not huge. They're not the number one name in wrestling. They're not bloody taking over the world, but they've got shows in Canada. They're lining up shows in the UK. They'll probably be lining shows up in Australia very soon. So it's happening. Like, they are putting their name out there. They're starting to make a move in
Yep.
the industry. And
Yeah.
people are beginning to see that the product is an alternative to WWE. Do they get it right all the time? No. Hell no.
No.
But when it comes to the pay-per-views, like I said before, when it comes to their pay-per-views, every single thing is perfect.
Damn
Like,
near. Damn near.
almost every single thing is perfect. And we go back to Revolution. The women's match, which is normally one I would shit on, was actually good. Was actually good for what it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously there's still the issue with them booking the women's division, but as time goes on and you'll see, we see, changes being made, people being brought in, because at some point in time, it has to be recognized that Tony Khan can't do it all on his own.
oh, for sure.
And at some point in time, there will be people brought in, and hopefully they can go forward from that.
Definitely.
So
And I think we're beginning to see that. We're beginning to see the changes in the way things are presented. We're seeing better stories. We're seeing more thought out process of it, of how the company is moving forward from here. They've gone, okay, we've had these big names come in, but we also need to work with our younger guys.
yeah,
And obviously later in the show we get a little bit more with the women's division, but we're starting to see a movement in the women's division, which has taken a while from when they first started to where it is now. And is what they're doing odd? Yes. But could it work out? Who the hell knows?
yeah, I agree. To kind of get back on track here. We talked about this on Sunday on Bad Booking. The AEW All Atlantic Championship has been rebranded, and this was a Warner Media idea, to the International Championship. And Orange Cassidy did his first defense. And I'm going to be honest with you. Love you, ABJ, but we disagree wholeheartedly on this. And I was so happy that it didn't happen, because I was scared to death that Jeff Jarrett was going to win this title.
I was very, very, very like I was. If I was an old folk, like older person, I would have shit myself because I was worried. I was worried that it was Jeff Jarrett walking out with that belt. And I got to agree with this is one thing I do have to agree with ABJ. Jeff Jarrett did look bloody good in that match.
Yep.
He actually did look damn good in that match. And he, for his age, for someone his age, to be able to still pull that off to the extent that he is, I got to give him his kudos for that. So
yeah, no, I am too. Like, Jeff obviously, Jeff has never ever been a bad wrestler. Jeff has never been a bad worker. Jeff came into AEW right when there was so much criticism on Kenny, the Bucks. Cody had already left, obviously, but
Yep.
So much criticism on Tony for letting the Elite, who are executive vice presidents, run the show when Jeff Jarrett has had a history of running his own show. And it's like, you bring Jeff Jarrett in, and ABJ and I and Mark all talked about this on Bad Booking when Jarrett first came in. You bring Jeff Jarrett in, who has a history in the locker room and is very political. So, I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett in a title picture. I have no problem with yes, he looks great. Yes, he's a great worker. Yes, he's entertaining. You love to hate him. But as far as Jeff Jarrett carrying a championship, I just don't want to see it.
I think the match fit the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely was great that Orange Cassidy kept the belt. It was definitely great. I like the fact that it's now called the International title rather than the All Atlantic. One thing I picked up on is the sharpshooter used at the end or towards the end of the match.
Yep.
I had a feeling we were going to see Sting return, but clearly that didn't happen.
Yep.
But maybe are we hinting at a possible Jarrett and Sting?
I want to highlight this. First, I want to 1,000% agree with Brian J, Alex, Anthony. Yes, Jeff looked great. He's at the end of his career. He's doing exactly what a veteran should be doing. And that's putting over young talent. I love it. Like I said, I just don't want to see Jeff. I don't want to see Jeff in the title, holding the title. Stephen Chambers says Aubrey cost Jarrett the match, and I wanted to highlight this because I thought it was great. I thought it was entertaining, and I want to just and I'll probably clip this part and put it on social media because I know there's a lot of people that don't like Aubrey Edwards. They can't stand Aubrey Edwards. That don't like it when, and mind you, this is all people that have been in the business, so this will sting a little bit more. Like when people who have been workers are like, I don't like it when referees try to take over the show. Your job is to be a referee. I don't care. I think Aubrey's funny. I like Aubrey. I don't have an issue with Aubrey.
Look, I think it's great. I think it's great to have. This is not the first time she's been involved in shenanigans in the match.
I know that's why she garners a lot of hate online.
You go back in when she was in the Stadium Stampede with Jericho, and they had that meeting in the tent. And she gave him a yellow card or a red card or whatever it was. That was fantastic.
Yeah, Audrey's great. Aubrey adds an Aubrey. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Aubrey adds an extra element to the match, an extra entertainment value because whether you like it or not, it's sports entertainment.
Yeah.
And so
Brian Jay's
there's Brian Jay. Brian Jay's a little bit on the older side, so Brian Jay's a little old school, and that's fine. That's a lot of your old school people will be like, "Oh, it's about the wrestlers. It's not about the about the ring announcers. It's not about the commentators."
So Chase, you and I have spoken about this off air, but when the I-70 hot tag books a show, we're going to put Brian J in a match, and we're going to have Aubrey
Woof.
as the referee.
Woof.
What do you reckon?
Yes. She adds, look at me. No, she adds an entertainment value, you know.
And Mark's here as well.
Absolutely. Pro Wrestling Kingpin.
Hey, Mark, you missed out on a great segment before. Your boy.
Because I'm the top dog, bitch. That's why.
Your boy up there decided to skip over the fact that Jericho got a street named after him.
No one cares. No one gives a fuck. You know, for Canada being like so like progressive and whatnot, to grab a right like an extreme right winger like Chris Jericho and name a street after him, I thought was a very ballsy move for the country of Canada. But hey, to each his own. I don't care. It has nothing to do with Dynamite. So
don't lie, you're going to go visit it one day.
Oh, I'm going to take a picture. One day I'll take a picture of it in the background and I'll message it to Mark. So Mark, since you're here, I want to just backtrack a little bit, brother. We talked about Forbidden Door 2, and I mentioned that I was extremely disappointed that Forbidden Door 2 was announced for Canada and not for Chicago again, because I was going to say that I was going to make the drive to Chicago if Forbidden Door 2 was there and we could go together. Well, agreed. But Scott said that we're going to have to make the drive to Canada. So I'll just swing by and pick you up and we'll drive up to Canada because Mark's going to Forbidden Door 2 in Canada. So get your passport updated, my friend.
Yeah, because I'm going to go to Forbidden Door 2.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure I'm at that show.
Axel, I do not have good seats for Mania. I have like nosebleed seats. I paid.
And there you go, Chase. There you go, Chase. Mark has said that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. I have to find a new job anyways because.
And what we'll do, we'll also get ABJ to meet you guys in Chicago first.
Yeah.
You'll have Shazza wrestle for you, will you, Brian?
Yeah.
She was wrestling this past weekend. So.
I'm not saying that.
Go on, say it.
No, I'm not saying it. I was going to say I'd fuck Shazza up, but no, I'm not saying that.
She'd fuck you up, dude.
Yeah, I know. I get my dick beat in.
Your dick would be mincemeat.
Yeah, no, Axel. My tickets were a little under $400 for 2 tickets for both days, so I'm in the nosebleeds. And yes, I am still going, and that's still cool as fuck. So
yeah. Look, as much as I shit on WWE, it's still a goal to get to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it's still a goal. Like
the goal is to go every year. That's gonna be the goal.
For me, it's a goal to just get to one, because obviously being overseas. But I would have loved to have gone while the Undertaker was still wrestling.
Yeah,
but that ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
I think it would be huge not to get too far off subject. If we do blame Axel, but I think it would be. I think sometime in the next few years, WWE has to look at
international WrestleManias.
Not just international WrestleMania, but maybe international, like the big fours as well.
Well,
what's that gigantic that big Mecca arena that you guys have in Australia that they had Super Showdown there, the first
the MCG.
Yeah.
Melbourne Cricket Ground. Yeah.
Yeah, in Melbourne. Okay, in Melbourne.
Melbourne,
whatever. There is a Melbourne, Australia too, though.
It's Melbourne. That's how you pronounce it. You pronounce it Melbourne.
Okay, so the R is silent. Okay, all right.
The R is silent, and there's also a Melbourne in America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's in Texas.
but yeah, they have to start looking at. I'd love to see Royal Rumble in Melbourne, Australia. SummerSlam, I would love to see go back to Wembley Stadium.
Oh,
Um, that's British Bulldog and Bret Hart in that Intercontinental title match
yeah.
from '92, from SummerSlam
Well,
'92 in Wembley.
there is talks.
Is one of my favorite matches of all time.
There is talks that they want to bring WrestleMania to Perth in WA, Western Australia.
Yeah,
So there is talks that they're looking at doing something big, potentially WrestleMania. But
yeah.
if that happens, that's going to be freaking huge. Like that's going to have to be freaking huge. The price for tickets will be astronomical, though.
And see, and this is why, is because
Yeah.
Money in the Bank in London sold out in less than 5 minutes. That's
And
nuts.
that's the thing. Like, if you're going to places outside of where you normally go, people are going to go out of their way to go there. And look at what happened with AEW's debut in Canada. People went out of their way to get to it
Yeah, agreed.
because it's going somewhere where they want wrestling, and they've been watching the show.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, back on track here.
Yeah.
Um,
So yes, good thing that Jeff Jarrett didn't win.
the Acclaimed with the music video. To be honest with you, I had my TV down really low, so I couldn't even listen to it.
Yeah.
What'd
I
you
didn't
think?
hear anything of relevance really
Gotcha.
with it.
The Outcast. I now so I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I'll admit when I have changed my mind, and I'll admit when things are different. I didn't like this. I didn't like this idea. I still don't like the idea of the outsiders, us versus them mentality, because I feel like it's a big facade to get Britt Baker extremely over,
Mm.
which is fine, whatever. But man, adding Ruby added a dynamic to it that I didn't know I liked until tonight.
It's elevated it, yeah.
Yeah,
And
when
this is what I was saying. Like it's weird because we're seeing an elevation in the women's division that I didn't think was going to happen this way.
yeah,
of all the ways for it to happen, I
yeah,
didn't think it would happen this way.
yeah.
Where's Sheeta?
I don't
Believe
know because and Steven brings up a really good point because they did that thing with where they had Sheeta accidentally cost them a match or something like that, and then now she's not on TV.
yeah,
It was weird. It felt like Sheeta, because Sheeta was supposed to be like the odd man out in that story, where it was Tony and Saraya, and then I feel like they have kind of dropped Sheeta, but
minor injury. She's out with a minor injury to her finger.
gotcha. Okay, there
I
you
just
go.
Googled it, so
There you go. Yeah, because like I said, I was very curious because I was like, why haven't we seen her? So
yeah, she's just out with a minor injury. I'd expect to see her back sometime soon. I wouldn't say. I don't know how she's going to fit into the story, but we'll find out, I guess.
yeah. Well, it's man, I
Clinton,
swear
that's
every
a
time
great thing that you're getting.
I listen to ABJ, I get a different take on certain wrestling storylines. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, if you're getting different takes and you're hearing different things, it gives you the fact that we're willing to discuss everything and we can change our minds if something is presented to us.
Wrestling is subjective.
Yeah. Like we aren't always going to stay on the hatred bandwagon because things change and there's always that element of change in wrestling.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to do things on the fly.
Absolutely.
Back to this anyway. Yeah, the Outcasts. I'm
Yeah,
surprised that it's
they're
working.
extremely outnumbered right now.
Yeah, like I thought it was a bit odd having Rio and then Sky Blue and then Willow come down after Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit odd. But does that mean we're going to get some other non-originals coming in?
I don't know.
Or are we going to get some original?
I would like to. I would really like to not have that whole WWE versus AEW thing, just because, like I said, that's the one aspect of this that I'm not a huge fan of, because when this is well, not just that, but when it's done, let's look at what history has showed us with AEW. Not using the women properly, or having mistakes with it. And so where do these women go after this storyline's over with?
That's the good question. Like, we don't. Does this just obviously it skyrockets Britt Baker? Obviously it skyrockets Jamie Hayter, but where the hell does it put the rest of them? Where does it put the rest of the women that are in this feud?
Yeah. Clinton says, I've literally changed my mind on so many stories in wrestling lately. I just wish that certain guys in WWE would be booked better. Agreed. Add Serena Deeb to the mix. I wouldn't hate it.
Clinton, I'm glad that you've been able to change your mind on certain things. Like, this is one thing, and Chase can attest to this. In our community, people can come in with opinions, but we're willing to talk with them and listen to what they've got to say. And we want to have everybody be open to what's out there and go, okay, there's another opinion. Someone might be thinking something else, and it might be more valid than what you're thinking at the time.
Yep. Matt Menard and Angelo Parker talk about the acclaimed music video.
Their nipples.
And I love these two. I'm so glad that we're starting to see them utilized more as a tag team. These two have been money since they debuted with Daniel Garcia.
Get him away from Jericho. And
yeah, I
that's just for me, to get him away from Jericho, to be more considered as a proper tag team. I know that they were a tag team beforehand, but get him away from Jericho, get him away from, destroy the JAS, just let them be them.
Yeah, I will start to agree, because here was my issue with it to begin with. So Jericho in the what was that? What was the
Wizard?
No, the Inner Circle. So the Inner Circle did wonderful things for everybody involved with it, right? So when the JAS was formed, I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to do for Garcia, for Garcia, Menard, Parker, what this did for Sammy and the Inner Circle guys.
But I think Sammy stood on his own at the same time as well. Sammy was able to stand on his own as well, even though, like, as he said,
was until they pushed him back into it. So
in the opening, they said that he was supposed to be the fall guy, the jobber for Jericho.
Yeah, but I just don't think that. I don't think that this. I don't think that this group has panned out what they thought it would, or at least what I thought it would.
It hasn't elevated them to the level that the
Inner Circle did.
Circle did, yeah, because the Inner Circle was. Sammy was technically the jobber of that group. He was technically supposed to be. He was the no-name guy.
Yeah, he started out as that, but when the Inner Circle ended, Sammy was flourishing into his own, and then they stuck him back with the JAS, and I was like, Okay, well, hopefully maybe they can continue. Maybe it won't hinder him, but it
I
has.
think the only reason they did that was because of his association with Ty
Yep.
at the time, because they knew he was they were not going to they were going to get a shit ton of heat for the fact that him and Ty got together and got married and all that sort of shit.
Yep.
But yeah, it just needs to end. So
Besides Sammy and Hager, where's Pride and Powerful?
in a feud with
Well,
Eddie Kingston, and
well, Pride,
one of them's injured.
Pride and Powerful's issues were their own issues.
Yeah.
Though that's not it. That's not any.
Oh, can I just quickly address Clinton's comment?
Yeah.
So Bandito was at the show that I was at the other week, and he had a match against Blake Christian. Man, that match was the best match of the night. That was the best match of the night. And if you want someone who can go with Bandito, Blake Christian is the guy. Blake Christian is the guy. He is a guy to watch.
Yep. And Axel's right. You know that, like I said, they they flourished outside of that group, and had that whole feud between the two of them not happen, I still think that they would be going strong right now.
Yeah.
I think that they would have. I think they would have won a couple of tag team titles, or had a great tag team run.
You had a perfect feud with Proud and Powerful versus Jericho and Hager. You had a perfect feud there. They were held down by Jericho and not getting the title shots, so they got shitty and went. But then they had their own problems. So
I agree.
Yeah.
We get this House of Black. This is the main event. We get House of Black against the Jericho Appreciation Society and
the Elite.
The Elite. Look, where's Mark at, man? Not only are they utilizing the trios division, now we're seeing a three-way trios
with
match
the biggest
in the
stars
main
of the
event.
company.
Yeah, in the main event of AEW Dynamite.
With the biggest stars in the company.
Yep.
In the main event of the show.
Absolutely.
As much as people want to deny it, though, those three teams have the biggest stars in the company.
Absolutely.
You have Malachi Black, you have Chris Jericho, you have Kenny Omega.
Yep.
The three biggest stars in that company. Besides obviously MJF.
And Moxley makes an appearance at the end of this match.
Yeah.
So, give me 1 second here. And what's crazy is it wasn't a cluttered trios championship match. It was I thought it was very well put together. I dug it, man.
It was really well put together for what it was. It was really well shot. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, and it wasn't. We had teams the moves that they didn't just. It wasn't just finisher after finisher, cut off by a finisher, cut off by a finisher.
Yeah, it was crazy because, like I said, it was very well put together. I thought it was very well done. It ended well. It was just like I said, they've been focusing on the trios division, and I dig it, man.
And look, guys, I love the fact that we got close pinfalls in the match as well. There was concern that I was concerned that they were going to put the belts on Jericho because it's hometown.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
But then there was concern: do they put the belts back on the Elite to give them that 3-tier title run. But they did the right thing and kept it as House of Black winning the belt or keeping the belt, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So guys, the link is in the chat. Make sure you click the link if you want to join the show. Scott and I are going to break down what is the Rampage card. And
before we get there, though, we have
Yes.
to talk about the end of the show.
Yes.
The end of Dynamite.
Yeah, you know, we were getting ready to. But the link is in the chat, guys. If you guys can't see it or you guys need it again, let me know and we'll repost it in there. But it is there for you guys to click and come join the show. Talk about what you liked, what you didn't like, and all that good stuff.
But
yes,
you do have
the
to have
ending of the match.
Yep.
The ending of the match.
So at the end of the match, we get the backstage brawl that was happening with Dark Order and Hangman spilling out into the middle of the ring or into the arena, I should say, after you've had a bit of a beatdown continuing in the ring. And then we get to Hangman pretty much clearing the ring or being the only one in the ring. BCC on the apron. And then I got to say, I got fucking goosebumps when the Elite was standing behind Hangman. I popped a little.
I did too, man. It was hard not to.
I popped a little, right?
Yeah, to see the Bucks and Kenny stand behind Hangman.
My brain went, oh my God, we're getting the Elite back together.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but I think it would be a very interesting story to tell, because if you remember, we never got a payoff or a return to that story of the Bucks giving Hangman the okay to put the nail in the coffin on Kenny. So, and that put Kenny out for months. So there was never a return to that. So it would be different. Are you talking to me? Because if you are, you're muted.
Sorry, we've had little teasers.
I know.
Yeah. We've had little teasers, but we haven't had full-on resolution. You're right.
Yeah.
We've had little teasers when Hangman was looking for partners and the Bucks came in and spoke to Hangman, but yeah, there's been no full resolution for it. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see, because like it sounds very entertaining and it sounds very awesome to have Kenny, the Bucks, and Hangman take on the Blackpool Combat Club. But Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, appreciate you joining. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, that follow button, notification bell,
subscribe.
But so very interesting. Do you look at that and go, is Hangman going to turn his back yet again on, not turn his back, but put Dark Order on the back burner to go hang out with the Elite? And if he does, then does that put him all by his lonesome again?
That's the question. And Brian J., you don't have to bite your tongue. Get your ass on camera and get in here and give us your opinion.
Yes. So that does it for the show. The final shot was Paige slowly turning back to see Omega and the Bucks, but we never got to see their reaction. It was a very chaotic ending. I like it. Reminds me of the old WCW days, where the show was just ending in chaos. Ending. Yes,
it was very much a Nitro ending.
let's talk about Rampage real quick, and then it looks like there's only one guy joining us tonight, and that's fine.
So far,
I
told Brian J to get his ass in here, so
yep.
he better do so.
So AEW Rampage on Friday night. I will not be watching it live. I never usually do watch it live. I usually watch it recorded the next day or whatever. But
we have a Josh Elliott in the chat.
The real Josh Elliott, not one of those fake ones.
Are we sure it's the real Josh Elliott though?
It is definitely the real Josh Elliott. You can always tell by the I-70 hot tag logo. There you
go.
It's a nice logo, by the way. Anyways, Rampage, I will be at SmackDown. So we'll not be watching it live. But Powerhouse Hobb is going to defend the TNT title against Rey Fenix. I think that will be very good.
I'm down for that match. I'm down.
Taya Valkyrie will make her AEW in-ring debut
against some unknown name.
Yep. And then here's one that I'm actually pretty excited for because I was huge fans of theirs on 205 Live. Matt Menard and Angelo Parker are going to take on the Bollywood Boys.
That's going to be a good match. Like as much as it's probably considered a bathroom break match for some people, it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I definitely dig it. So,
yes, and Jake, yes, you are right. There is a special time for Rampage on Friday night.
Well, who knows? Maybe I'll make it home in time to watch it. Probably not. Probably not.
You'll be too fucked from being at SmackDown.
Yeah,
and getting to see Sami Zayn.
There you go. We're gonna be front row, second level. So
nice.
Yep.
Nice. So I might get to see you on the screen.
Maybe. Because it's not right in front of the ring. It's more to like the left side. So, but
just hold up a CR Media poster.
There you go. Dimitri would be all for that. Dude, I'm taking my two boys, Dimitri and Sebastian.
Hold up a CR Media poster, and I might
let Dimitri bring the I-70 Hot Tag Championship. So,
and when you're at Dynamite, make sure that you've got like a sign saying "Hi Raz" or something like that. So
there you go. So I think Josh has acquired the Pepsi Suite. So
nice.
I think.
I mean, you were shitting on him last week.
We didn't fucking give it away this time. So
you were shitting on him about it last week. So.
I know I was. Every single time, the guy who won the tickets, his name is Digital Dan. He's like a photographer and he takes pictures around here. So every single time I saw him at an independent show this weekend in Springfield, Missouri. And I patted him on the back and I was like, hey, buddy, did you enjoy that suite last time? He's like, oh, yeah, man, that was so cool. I'd never done that before. I was like, yeah.
Fuck you.
The only match for AEW Dynamite that has been announced is Hook versus Stokely Hathaway in a no disqualification match.
For the FTW title.
What the fuck ever.
For the FTW title. You know what's going to happen.
When I said that I wanted more of Stokely Hathaway on my screen, I didn't mean wrestling, but whatever. I'll take it.
You know what's going to happen, though. You know that there's going to be a screw job finish, and we're going to get Stokely as the FTW champion.
Absolutely.
I mean, not that title's relevant, but still.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and now that that's done with, I'm closing it. We're not taking any new ones here. I'm gonna go ahead and invite Hunter Dillon in. Hunter, how are you, sir?
I feel like I'm a regular on this show. I feel like I'm the third man around here. Hi, guys.
Absolutely. Maybe fourth, fifth, maybe six. Because you've got
Raz.
Oh yeah, rep
twinsies.
What
mine are the mini version though.
Oh, you got the mini one. I got the regular. Version. I still have to.
These ones are from Hungry Jack's, which is Burger King.
I still have to get Dustin a giant Uno deck. I still have to do that. Steven asked the question. I was just about to get to that. Yes, there are always at least 2 or 3 skip cards this evening. I'm gonna get right down to business because I know I don't want to waste any of y'all's time. The MJF free bar mitzvah that should have been cut shorter. I'd like to first of all apologize. I'd like to apologize to any of my Jewish friends and especially to any MJF fans.
You know,
It's
Axel's
not
going
you.
to come at you.
I mean, it couldn't. I mean, it was okay. It couldn't. I wouldn't delete it just completely. I wouldn't completely get rid of it. I just.
Are you doing
the
this
hair.
thing? Are you reversing that decision?
I just thought Raz
Just
had
the
really
length
big
of
hands.
it is a skip card. Just the length of it, Raz.
That's what she said.
Oh God. It ain't even H-Dog time, Chase. What are you doing to me?
He's bringing it in.
This chat and the stream have no idea what H-Dog time is. So let's not go there. And what were your other skip parts? And while you tell us, I'm going to go ahead and let this dog in. This dog keeps barking.
The Acclaimed music video, I could care less. Sorry to all the people who watch the Acclaimed, who love the Acclaimed. Everyone loves the Acclaimed. Newsflash, I'm not everybody. I don't love the Acclaimed.
I think you got a lawsuit there then. You got a lawsuit there. You could sue because it's false advertising if everybody loves the Acclaimed and you don't.
You're probably right. Maybe I need to hire Mark Sterling.
Oh,
anyway.
God, please don't. Please don't.
No, actually, no. I'll probably never mind. And also the Jade Cargill segment. Now, honestly, I wish they would have just cut out the jobber segment altogether. I mean, not jobber. We don't use that term. We use the term talent enhancement, and just brought Taya out and said, "Hey, I'm challenging for the title." Then it becomes a whole beatdown thing, and then it leads to next week.
Look, I can agree. I can agree with you on that one because it was a letdown to have it be the lovely Nicole Matthews, as much as she's an enhancement talent and she's great. She's been on the scene, the wrestling scene for 17 years. Nobody knows her name.
No, not at all.
Nobody knows her name unless you live in Canada.
Right.
So they could have done the right thing and moved it just so that, bam, it was straight out Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm not an expert booker. I'm not a Tony Khan. I'm not a Vince McMahon. But I try to do.
Or a Mercury Yaden.
Or Mercury Yaden. Hi, Mercury. I know he doesn't watch this channel, but I'm just saying.
You're also not a Scott D'Amore.
Right. But I try my best to try and do a good fantasy booking. I can't say I'm an expert, but oh well.
Look, we all fantasy book the fuck out of everything that we can, so.
As for the good parts, you know the opening match was good. They always consistently put out good opening matches. They always consistently do that. The Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett match, I was scared to death.
You didn't
see it. Axel didn't see it because I was watching it with him, but I was having heart palpitations. If Orange Cassidy lost, I was like, I was probably gonna be walking out.
I'm pretty sure Chase would have canceled this show and turned off.
Although I will say me and Axel did have a good conversation about Jeff Jarrett. I think it's because maybe Jeff Jarrett shouldn't be a wrestler per se, more like a manager for Jay Lethal and not actually competing in the ring. That probably would have made more sense to have Jay Lethal compete, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think my issue is that I would prefer to see him in more of a managerial position. And you know, wrestling kind of like on special occasions, you know, a regular, but man, you know, like I said earlier, he still works good in the ring. He's here putting young talent over, which is what he's supposed to do. I don't think Jarrett ever was the type to bury people.
Mm-hmm.
you know, he has a bad taste he leaves a bad taste in people's mouths, and rightfully so, because of how him and his dad, booked TNA, and whatnot. Some people don't believe that his TNA World Championship or his NWA World Championship run was merit, over other people. But again, that was 20 years ago. And like I said, I will agree. I was, a little harsh on it, but like I said, man, as long as he's putting over young guys and doing whatnot, I like it. I dig it. Here's a hot take. Woo! Whew. Whew, steamy in here. I like
and
it.
It's only going to get hotter as it comes to pass.
Yep.
Are you sure it's not just my heater? Okay. And also that main event was so good.
Which one?
The main event with Rio title. Raz, were you even paying it? I see the private chat, and I'm telling you right now, no.
What's the deal?
Look in the private chat. I'm looking at the private chat right now.
I know. I see in the private chat, but what's the deal, Hunter? You got gumdrop shaped nipples or something?
No, I just don't want you taken off. I don't want you taken off of Twitch or YouTube or anything.
Oh, fuck them.
We need the nip.
I'm trying to be professional here.
All right, Hunter. If you could change one thing about the show, just one thing, what would you change?
The only thing I would probably change, as I mentioned, was the women's match. Or not the women's match, but the women's segment. See, ABJ, you guys can't see it, but I'm looking at the private chat right now. ABJ is completely throwing me off.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no private chat. There's only one chat, and that's the chat that we all see.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. And all those things. But yes,
right,
the
Hunter.
women's segment should have went right to Taya and not went through all this jobber stuff.
Yep.
Talent enhancement, not jobber. We don't use jobber around here.
Beans and Franks, beans and Franks, beans and Franks, beans and Franks.
Franks and beans.
Anyway.
Hunter, tell everybody watching right now where they can find you on social media, my good friend.
Well, on all of the socials, you can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, on the YouTube, which I've only done one live stream on YouTube. I mostly post some of my older content on there, on Twitch, and on TikTok, which I don't post on TikTok. I just watch videos there at HunterDillon95. On Twitch, we are one follower away from 300 followers on Twitch, and when that happens, we're going to have a big old celebration.
There you go. If you've got a Twitch,
95.
Yeah, if you got a Twitch, go follow Hunter Dillon 95.
Yes.
See what the big ass celebration is when he hits 300.
We might be doing some game show stuff and some Jackbox stuff for 300 like we did for 250. Who knows? Also, as we get close to the 300, I do want to thank everybody in CR Media and ABJ's communities for helping me get to this point. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, and I appreciate all of the support. You guys have no idea how much you guys mean to me. Absolutely no idea.
We love you, Hunter.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Hunter, to kind of wrap this up, and we don't want to keep our other person waiting very long. We appreciate you joining. Appreciate you bringing your skip card. As always, Hunter, we appreciate you. Like I said, if you are in my chat right now, if anybody if you have a Twitch account and you are not following Hunter Dillon, make sure you go do it. Other than that,
yes.
Hunter, we appreciate you as always.
All right. And I'm just going to start doing this every week since everybody seems to like this outro. This is my version of good fight and good night. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you may be doing, please don't be a skip card.
I like it.
Take care, gentlemen, and I hope to see you guys a little later on in the Discord.
Sounds like a
Absolutely.
plan.
I almost removed the wrong guest.
Oh,
Almost
shit.
removed you.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah. All right.
I think I need to take over control of the show at
there
some
you
point.
go. At some point.
Maybe next week.
Might be best. All right. Here
What
he
up,
is.
ladies? Hello,
What's up?
ladies.
Funny story. I actually, now that you say hello, ladies, I explained to my 11-year-old tonight the I choppy your pee segment.
Did you explain to him why it's called the money shot?
No, I didn't
Okay.
do that.
No, we're not at that level yet.
No, we're not at that level yet.
Okay, cool.
But I said something and he was like, choppy pee. He's like, what? And then I was like, yes. I was like, there was a wrestler who was an adult film star, and I explained the whole thing to him.
So
and
he knows
was
what porn is now.
Yeah. Well,
He's like 2 weeks away from the money shot.
yeah. Maybe 2 months. I'm
Yeah,
not going
2
there
nights.
yet.
2
Yeah.
nights away.
2 nights.
Yeah.
2 nights in a bottle of
You literally told him what porn is. He Googled it as soon as he went up on his room on his cell phone.
Oh no, he picked up immediately what I was putting down. I was
Yeah.
like, he's an adult film star, and he was like, they allow that on wrestling, and I was like,
Oh, he knows already.
I was
He
like,
knows.
this is the 90s, bud. I was like, shit was wild.
So it
Yeah,
looks like we're getting
he
it.
banged Ken Shamrock's sister.
So Chase, it looks like
Was
we're gonna have to sanction a match
For who?
between our guest below here and Gears of Kai.
For what?
For what?
We're gonna have to sanction a match. He's calling you out, ABJ.
Listen, there's levels to the game. Kai's way down there. He's got to pick it up.
I have no idea
He's
what's
not
going
on your
on.
level.
ABJ gets paid from here up.
Yeah, because that knee is broke.
Everything from here down is broken.
Did you watch the show tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
What'd you
in
do?
the watch for a long.
Yeah, I was, and I was downloading 2K22 at the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
2K22 or 2K23?
23. That would make more sense, huh? Second showcase pissed me off. I already turned the game off. Do a heavy combo. I did 485 combos. The match is 8 hours long. It's not registering. That should annoys me.
Yeah. So what do you think of the show?
I thought it was good. I think way too much hate on Jeff Jarrett. That dude in the ring is still great. He knows how to work a crowd. Everything in the in-ring was amazing.
We didn't say he was shit in the ring. We said he was good. He looked.
You say you'd rather see him as a
fantastic.
manager. The guy
I
still
didn't.
outworks half the roster.
I didn't say I'd like to see him as a manager.
Whoa.
I know he can still go.
Half the roster?
Yeah.
I think he.
Well, because half the roster we don't see on TV because they only use the same
All
seven
right.
guys.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Like, I think that he can still go. I just don't want him hogging the limelight in 2023.
Listen, Gears, there's one thing you got to learn about the business, okay? If there's no payoff to make money, then just shut the fuck up. Not
No,
you. I'm just talking about in general.
It's talk shit, get hit.
No. In the business, that's how it is.
Yeah,
If there's
it's
no
talk
match,
shit, get hit.
if there's no match, that means there's no money to be made, and that means that you should just put it down right now.
Yeah, I had to take a swirly.
You had to take a swirly.
Yeah, me and this wrestler have been talking shit, but I
Yeah,
won't get in the ring.
Ricky Price.
Yeah, so we had to do. I had to. Get
I
my
wasn't
camera.
sure what he did. Because I mean, like the video ended.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna zoom in on my face. My hair was all wet in front of my face,
Yeah, like
and you couldn't hear the toilet flushing.
Yeah, that's why when you said swirly, I was like, what? And then
I had to get my comment somehow, but not physically on camera. So that was
Yeah.
our loop around.
I thought it was just implying that he beat your ass in the stall and then left you there. So
Yeah.
it's funny. It's way funnier now that I know it's a swirly.
Yeah, I came out and said, "Oh, thank God they cleaned the toilets," and I was all wet, but I thought the camera was gonna move.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll try it harder.
Maybe next time.
Anyway, Jeff Jarrett's match was amazing. The Britt Baker stuff, I'm sorry, I don't care. What else happened? Just trying to pop my head.
The Britt Baker stuff, I'll agree. Like Britt
Yeah,
Baker
don't care.
being involved in that, I don't care. but I do think I am starting to like this thing with Saraya, Tony Storm, and Ruby.
Yeah, we'll see.
I thought they played that role really well tonight. I didn't think adding Ruby when we had that surprise on Revolution where Ruby turned. I didn't think it was going to do anything.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to add anything. And then she came out tonight. I thought she played that role very well with them. She was very good mixed with them.
And the main event was fun. I mean, I can care less about the Elite trying to become babyface again, but that's just me.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think they're pulling the trigger too quick.
But they've got to do it for Punk to come back to be the heel.
I think they're going to force themselves to be the babyface in hoping that Punk doesn't get cheered over them. Because everything I think they're trying to put out right now is going to be Punk's the bad guy and Crybaby that went home, and we're the ones still stay here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with.
I think the fans are going to catch on and realize, oh shit, I don't think Punk was in the wrong here.
So if you go back, because something that ABJ has said that has resonated with me since we started talking about this is Punk is at his best when he's anti-establishment, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys go back to Money in the Bank 2011, Punk was supposed to be the heel.
Mm-hmm.
Punk had just got done doing the Nexus stuff. He had the I hate using the word, but he had the small mustache. He was
Hitler mustache.
Well, you said that.
Australian, not us. Yeah,
yeah. So
you can't cancel
Australia.
Yeah, you can't cancel anyone in Australia. They're bulletproof.
But you know what I mean? Like, Punk was
don't throw stingrays at him.
Yeah, Punk was a very was very heel at the time, and they tried to make him heel against John and tried to make him look as the bad guy. And it wasn't until the fans that was organic. That was not planned. Of course, Vince and
you gave CM Punk a live microphone and he got over on his opponents. And the same thing's going to happen if you give CM Punk a microphone and it's the Elite versus CM Punk on a mic. He's going to tear them apart.
And it was an NWO moment. He was the cool bad guy.
Yeah, since Stone Cold Steve Austin hit his boss, everybody wants to be anti-establishment. Everybody wants to be punk rock. Everybody wants to be hip hop. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to take down the man.
Since
so anytime that element is shown a hair, that's what people are going to gravitate to.
Since Hogan did the leg drop on Savage as well, like the NWO was hated at first, but it became cool. It became the cool thing to see.
Yeah, like I said, I just, if you go back and watch Money, or you go back and watch the build up to Money in the Bank 2011, another thing that WWE gets credit for, but they shouldn't, because like I said, if you remember, Punk was supposed to be the bad guy. He was supposed to get booed, and then the exact opposite happened.
Yep.
So, I, for me personally, I hope that's what happens. If Punk comes back, I hope that they bring him back as anti-establishment, and I hope that, God, I'd love to see it at Forbidden Door. We just talked about Forbidden Door. It would be awesome if they had ROH AEW, and ABJ, you brought this up before, of what if the Bucks and Kenny left to go to ROH, and then we got CM Punk versus the Bucks. But let's reverse that now. Let's talk about what if Punk comes back and he says, well, I'm not AEW, I'm ROH.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So
I think that's what Daniel Bryan's going to go to. I
do too.
And I think Bryan's going to go away for a while until it's time for him to pop up around Super Show.
You reckon he'll rock up at Forbidden Door?
Yeah, I think he'll start pop up around Forbidden Door for that stuff.
Yep. Anything else on tonight's show you liked?
That's pretty much it. I mean, AEW is still falling a little behind for me when it comes to their stories and grabbing me. But it's I don't know.
Like I said, 3.5 years in the industry, and it's definitely something. What the fuck are you doing, Chase?
I'm always
Stop messing with camera angles.
Pushing the buttons.
Yep.
Yeah,
Don't
I mean,
mess with
I
camera
don't
angles.
I don't absolutely hate it. Like, that's not what I want to say here at all about it. It's just that I just they're on a point right now where they're maybe pushing superstars that they wanted to push for a while, but didn't tease them into people, I guess, enough. And now they're like, all right, boys, it's your time to shine, and everyone's kind of like, we're not sure if we're ready for them yet.
Yeah,
I think I think the starting segment tonight with Jungle Boy, Sammy, and Darby was brilliant. Like, having them come out was actually brilliant.
Yeah, and then
'Cause-
Darby reminded me everything of why I don't like him in his promos. So I was like, oh, thanks, Darby. I almost forgot.
I dropped out of school because they told me to edit my video. And you know what I like about this place? I don't have to change.
It's like, cool. I'm never gonna like you as a wrestler.
But he probably has changed over the time that he's been in the
He'll get
industry.
changed when he can't feel his legs anymore.
Yeah, he'll have to.
absolutely.
Because he's wrestling like a psychopath.
But in all fairness, like, that was a great segment with them having the four pillars in the ring and showing that AEW still has the talent that can work and they can grow from.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't really like Darby, but he does get kids' attention.
Sure. He paint. Listen, wrestling fans are not hard to get over on. Just paint your face, be spooky, and turn the lights off when you come out. It gets over all the time.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I'm not gonna lie, considering Sting was one of my favorites, so at like young age, definitely thought of that. So
yeah.
ABJ, if you could change something about tonight's show, what would you change?
I think Kaya Valkyrie should have came out with brighter gear, brighter colors on. Her entrance was all about dancing and liveliness, and she came out wearing all black. And like I said, she got no reaction. That kind of sucked for her.
yeah, I was not happy about the fact that she got no reaction there. Like, it didn't make sense.
We said, or I said earlier in the show, that I think it was because it was predictable. People knew it was going to happen.
That's why they try to do that enhancement talent that probably only people in a stadium knew who it was. And they'd be like, "Oh, everyone's gonna pop for this because everybody knows."
It's probably
her.
only the ones who actually go to independent shows,
absolutely,
not your people who were sitting in that arena. Because like, as much as I hate to say it, people who go to the big shows generally don't go to the little shows.
Yep.
And
agreed.
I've witnessed it firsthand, being in the music industry. You'll have a big band playing and you'll see thousands of people turn out. But a local band playing who have a decent following can only pull maybe 100 people through the door.
Yep. No, I totally get it. And that's why the only reason people go see independent shows is if that independent show puts a name on the poster that everybody wants to go see.
Yeah. Not wrong.
Yep.
You're not wrong. And it sucks because they'll gain the momentum from it for a week, 2 weeks, but as soon as that big name talent's gone and no longer working there, how many people are going to show up every week?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are going to show up? People aren't going to constantly stick around, and they think, okay, I've seen the big name person. I can go back to where I want to now.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. We're going to wrap this thing up. But before we do, ABJ, why don't you tell everybody what you got going on in the next week, and where they can find you on social media?
If you're in Pennsylvania or Jersey or New York or that surrounding state area, I'll be at Icons this Saturday in Philadelphia at the old ECW Arena. I'll be there for the high tension wrestling table, and we'll be there with Philly Mike Swanson and Mike Skyros, the HTW champion. And then following the con, we'll be walking a couple blocks back to the other arena where High Tension's doing their show. I will be hosting the event. I don't know what that all entails, but I am the host of the show. I'm not a ring announcer. I'm not commentary. I'm the host of the show. No idea. But we'll find out. We'll have some fun. You come out and meet me.
So you're their Miz.
Yeah, I'm the Miz. I'm the Miz.
You're the Miz.
Actually, did you see the video of like Hasbulla in America? Have you been watching that stuff?
With the big gold belt?
Yeah, you see who gave it to him?
No.
So Snoop Dogg, they say in the video, yo, Snoop Dogg is hosting WrestleMania and here's the belt they sent him.
Yep.
Snoop Dogg hasn't been announced as the host of WrestleMania.
Snoop Dogg hosted WrestleMania ages ago, didn't he?
Was that the same belt that they gave him, or is because the belt plate looked like a Hollywood belt?
Well, it's a golden green belt, and I've only seen it for the past couple of years on social media.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I thought the side plate looked like the new logo for this year's WrestleMania.
Maybe it is. I don't know. But what I can tell you is I don't like Hasbulla. I can't stand him.
How dare you?
If that little son of a bitch walked up to me and tried to punch me, I'd knock the shit out of him.
You would be out cold. You would die.
Bro, have you seen the way he hits people?
Bro, he is a savage.
No.
He will kill you.
No. The only reason he gets that is because people let him hit him. I was watching
He's
a clip
so
on
quick. You have no chance.
I'd drop kick that little motherfucker.
Dude, he would take your life, and you know it.
Probably.
I would murder him.
You would die.
I would murder Hasbulla. I just showed it to my wife earlier in the night. I was like, everybody thinks this little dude. He's not a kid, but he sounds like a kid.
Yeah,
so
everybody
everybody thinks he's cute. I don't think he's cute at all. I'd punch him square in the face.
That's terrible.
No. The belt is Snoop Dogg's custom belt. He's had it since Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading up on it.
No, you're good. You're good. I thought maybe they teased something and they weren't supposed to. But yeah, I forget what we were saying. But yeah, that's all.
You were talking about your.
Oh yeah. So then you can check me out those two shows. Everything after that is kind of a blur. I'm not really sure what my plans are going forward. I know there's going to be one place guaranteed. You can hear me on commentary. That's Sanctuary. Everything else, I think I'm going to start turning it down a little bit for.
Is there a guarantee that we're going to see you in Toronto?
No.
You're going to join us in Toronto?
I'll try. I mean, maybe I'll hang out with you like before the show and get dinner and then just drive home.
No, you have to come, man. If I'm coming from Australia, you have to.
I'll see what I can do money wise. I need listeners to pay for everything for me. I need to get on that bus.
I need a BJ with me.
Yeah, so we'll figure that. We'll figure it out, I guess. But yeah. So, but yeah. Besides that, commentary wise, I'm not really sure where you could find me going forward. I think I'm just gonna get back to the point, and there's no disrespect, but it's just like me being on commentary isn't helping me grow my brand at all. Because no one fucking cares, and most promotions don't even promote who their commentary people are. And if they do have commentary, they put it behind a paywall so people can't listen to it or watch it anyway. And how many people are going, who's on commentary? I should go follow them on social media. Just never happens, especially on the independent scene. So I think me just going to shows and being a fan and getting content's the way to go, and just go around and scream and carry on and be like, look at me, look at me. I think that's the best way to.
That's how everybody else does it.
Yeah, I think trying to be one of the boys and working your balls off in a promotion that doesn't care or put you over at all, but they put over everybody else.
No, you've seen how they treat their fucking talent. Why would? Yeah, my guy.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, no. If you see the way they treat their talent, why would you think being one of the boys is going to get you over?
Yeah, well, no. I think the benefit to it is I have made myself pretty cool with the boys. So like when I do ask for interviews, I think I give a different interview than most people do.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think that's gonna be my route going forward, is just kind of maybe being behind the scenes a little more, or just get my content while I'm going to shows, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anthony Blackwell Jr. on all social media. Facebook, YouTube is 5 subscribers away from, I think, 380. So our 580. So that'd be dope. The record is 584. It's the highest I ever got a YouTube channel ever in my life, and it took me almost 4 years to do that.
Let's get it up there, guys.
And this one is about only going till October, since October. So yeah, and a new horror movie review. We just added new content, so it's not just wrestling stuff. We've been doing some video.
If you're in the chat and you haven't liked ABJ on YouTube, get over there, subscribe to his content.
Scan the QR code. It takes you straight to ABJ's link tree. You'll be able to follow all
Give him support.
Medias.
I mean, this dude's been pushing hard, and he's been a supporter of our show for quite some time now as well. So
yeah. So just follow me there, and that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Well, ABJ, it's always a pleasure. If there's always a spot open here for a third wheel if you ever get back into watching Dynamite and enjoying it.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I can't promise the second part.
Yeah. All right. Well, sir,
who knows? The way things are going, I may take you up on that.
Well, sir, it was a pleasure as always to have you tonight. I may see you in the Discord. If not, I will see you Sunday for Bad Booking.
Yes.
Yes, you will. I had to stop and think. I was like, shit, am I going to be there for Bad Booking? I am.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later.
Take care, ABJ.
Peace out, sir. All right. Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't want to see Mercedes at Forbidden Door. I don't want to see her anywhere near a ring or with a title for that matter. Wow. Okay. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's all right. It's weird, but
look, I'm not the massive fan of Mercedes, but I know she'll put butts in seats for the younger girl crowd. So
she'll put on great matches and she'll put butts in seats.
I don't know about the great matches, but
I can't fathom a world where people go Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, and Sasha are all bad wrestlers. I just can't fathom that world. That's weird to me.
Fair enough. Your opinion, your choice.
Yep.
And
I got a great one for you. A great one for you.
Oh God, here we go.
I'd take Sasha over Rhea. Any day of the fucking week. Any day of the week. 1,000%.
Anyway, that's been the Post Dynamite show, and Chase is now cancelled. So,
all right. Cancel these nuts, bitch.
I get some people have. Everybody has their opinion. I just can't buy into the hype over Mercedes or Sasha, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, because like I said, I'm that way with Rhea. I love Rhea. But I love Rhea. But to act like, but for this hype train, I didn't think she needed that Royal Rumble win.
No, I think she's done really well with the whole Judgment Day gimmick. It's been great. She didn't need that Royal Rumble win. I think it's great that she is getting a title match. I think it's stupid that it's against Charlotte Flair.
Because I do and I don't. I would have loved to have seen her. I mean, because both women's champions right now are big athletes. You've got Bianca on Raw. You've got Charlotte on SmackDown. And that's the type of match I wanted to see. I don't want to see her go in and dominate a champion like Becky or Alexa or something like that. I want her against a big specimen, an athlete. So Charlotte
Rhea can go though.
Like let's take that back. Look, I'm in no way, shape, or form. The hype, and she's a bit overrated to me. Like it's like I said, I like her, I love her. I think she's great. But I mean, if I had one, if somebody was like, hey, you got a women's division, who you taking, Rhea Ripley or you taking Sasha Banks? I'm going, give me Sasha Banks. That's just my opinion. So, and like I said, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one. Some people stinks, And
it's one of those things. It's wrestling is subjective, so
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
you're allowed to be wrong in your opinions.
Yep. It's just I wash my ass every day, so my butthole doesn't stink as bad as other people.
Wrong. Wrong. Fucking wrong. And I'm not just defending Rhea because she's from my hometown.
Yeah.
So
No.
I'm defending her because I've seen her work on the independents, and she is talented, and
ask Josh when the Mae Young Classic happened and Rhea showed up. Both Josh and I were like, "Yo, like she's got something, and she's gonna be very detrimental to the business, and she's got a bright future and everything." But
definitely. Like I think that just giving her that second Rumble win was not needed, because they could have given the story without even having to go to the Rumble.
Yeah. Well, she's never won the Rumble, so that was her first Rumble win. Remember, Charlotte challenged her last time. She was NXT champion.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, I thought it was her challenging Charlotte.
No. That was her first Rumble win. I just, for me, here's how.
I guess it's like Batista when Batista won the fucking Rumble, and he didn't need it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like,
yeah,
Raquel Gonzalez needed that Rumble win.
Yeah. Someone else needed that.
I don't think Asuka needed it.
Oh, right. Asuka didn't need it, but
I think Liv Morgan has to cool down. I think the issue with Liv Morgan is that so many fans clamored for her to win and wanted the fans forced WWE to make a move on Liv.
Yeah.
And it was
she wasn't ready for it. She wasn't ready for it.
And now
she has potential to grow into it, and
absolutely.
But the person that should have had that push at that time was probably Alexa.
Yeah.
Because Alexa's been able to work that sort of program before.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But this is AEW Dynamite, so
absolutely. Crazy Eyes, appreciate you joining right as we're about to close out, my friend. Appreciate you showing up.
We've had everyone here tonight. We've had everyone here. We've had Josh, we've had Mark, we've had ABJ, we've had bloody Crazy Eyes, we've had Hunter, we've had Brian J. Baby turn up.
Yeah. Like, absolutely.
Everybody turning up tonight. It's crazy.
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody. Appreciate the support, guys. We are going to go ahead and close out of here. If you guys haven't already, stay tuned to see our media on social medias this weekend. Josh and my friend Brody and I will be recording content and posting it over the weekend and after the weekend. Also, make sure if you guys haven't, make sure you join the Discord. We are trying to build it up. I think we're still under 50 members, maybe
just under, I think.
Yeah, maybe at 49. I'm not sure.
I think just under. Give me 2 secs.
Nope. Maybe.
Offline, 29, online, 18.
47. So we lost a member because we were at 48.
Yeah, we're just under. So
yeah, I noticed Johnny 5. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I renamed the bot in Discord to Johnny 5. One of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was Short Circuit. So when it asked me to personalize the bot, I didn't have any other name. There was a possibility of Jarvis, but I was like, no, I don't want to do Jarvis. I'm going to do Johnny 5. So
now, next week, you're at the Dynamite show. So
I am. That's a good time. I'm glad you brought that up. We can discuss that now.
So while CR Media may not be live next week, depending on what time he gets back.
Yeah. Well, let me figure that out. We may cancel it.
Yep.
We may cancel next week's show. Or if not, if I can have somebody fill in, I'll probably have somebody fill in.
Yeah, I'm happy to have someone join us if you want to hand the reins to me for the week, I'm happy to do that to get someone in.
And then what we'll do is if you and I don't get to go If you and I don't get to do if you don't get to do the Dynamite post show with anybody next week, then we'll throw you in a bad booking and kind of do an all-in-one.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Sounds
Ladies,
like
gentlemen, appreciate you guys joining us tonight. As always, it's been a pleasure. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow on all forms of social media. Stay tuned to CR Media because we have more than just the AEW Dynamite post show that we do. We also have a plethora of shows. So make sure you follow and stay tuned in for that.
Make sure you're watching tomorrow for the I-70 hot tag.
That is correct. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the I-70 hot tag. We're gonna have Chance Kerrigan on, who wrestles in the Kansas City area, mainly in Kansas, with the KWA, the Kansas Wrestling Alliance. Very excited. Chance is a very hard worker, very up and coming talent. So we're excited to have him on. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night. Other than that, Scott,
nothing from me.
All right.
Take it easy. If she's easy, take her twice.
Yep. Peace out, Girl Scouts.